What if the man everyone believed was untouchable is now being exposed by the one person who knows the truth behind the scenes? Because right now, Destiny is strongly suggesting she has proof, real messages, timelines, and details that allegedly connect Maro Scott to a hidden affair no one saw coming. Social media is already in chaos, conversations are spreading fast, and the narrative keeps shifting by the hour. If even part of what's being implied is accurate, it could completely change how viewers see Maro. And according to Destiny, the receipts she's hinting at aren't minor. They're serious. Before jumping to conclusions, it's important to understand that these claims didn't appear overnight. This situation has been quietly developing for years. Longtime viewers of Love and Marriage Huntsville know Maro Scott's name has repeatedly been linked to cheating rumors. What makes this moment different is not the rumor itself, but who is speaking now and what she says she can back up. Destiny isn't throwing shade or reacting emotionally. She's implying she has documented evidence, messages, timestamps, and conversations that allegedly outline an affair hidden from public view. And when allegations move from whispers to specific claims with supposed proof, everything changes. In this breakdown, we're unpacking the full picture, where these rumors originally started, what Destiny is actually saying, what she's intentionally leaving unsaid, and how all of this connects to moments viewers may have overlooked in past seasons. We're also looking at why this information is surfacing now and who stands to lose the most if these receipts ever become public. Because Destiny is suggesting this wasn't a one-time mistake, but part of a larger pattern. And once those dots are connected, it raises the question of whether this was hiding in plain sight the entire time. To understand why Destiny's claims are hitting harder now, we have to rewind. Maro Scott has faced infidelity rumors for years, but never like this. This is the first time someone from inside the circle is implying they can actually prove it. From early seasons, viewers noticed tension in Maro and Leticia's marriage, questions shut down too quickly, defensive reactions, and conversations that felt incomplete. Fans noticed, and so did social media. Every season, the same rumors resurfaced: unexplained trips, absences framed as business, and inconsistencies that never fully added up. Without solid proof, those rumors stayed rumors. Maro denied everything, often framing the accusations as jealousy or attacks on his family. For a long time, that explanation held. But Destiny was present during those seasons. She was in those rooms, part of those off-camera conversations. And based on what she's now implying, she didn't just hear gossip, she allegedly witnessed things that didn't align with the public narrative. Viewers are now revisiting old episodes and noticing moments where Destiny went quiet or removed herself whenever Maro's name came up. At the time, it seemed insignificant. Now, it feels intentional. Which leads to the biggest question: why speak now? For years, Destiny stayed measured. She rarely inserted herself into Maro and Leticia's marital issues. That's why her recent shift feels deliberate, not emotional. Fans noticed it first in interviews and online comments. Instead of dodging questions, she began speaking in coded phrases, statements about truth surfacing, documentation existing, and silence having limits. To casual viewers, it sounded vague. To longtime fans, it sounded calculated. Then came the mention of receipts, screenshots, messages, proof. That single word changed everything. Destiny suggested at least one piece of evidence overlaps with a time Maro publicly claimed he was elsewhere. Fans immediately began cross-checking episodes, posts, and timelines, and many claim the inconsistencies are hard to ignore. Destiny has also suggested that staying silent came at a personal cost. She implied she was pressured to protect an image that wasn't fully honest. That reframes the story from simple cheating rumors into something deeper. Who was expected to stay quiet? Who benefited from that silence? And who carried the truth alone? According to Destiny's implications, the breaking point wasn't emotion, it was timing. She hints that during a specific period, Maro's public story didn't match his private actions. Fans began digging and noticed online activity that didn't align with his stated whereabouts, messages sent during questionable hours, interactions that contradict the narrative. She also suggests the woman involved wasn't random. The clues point to someone familiar with the circle, someone who knew how to stay hidden while remaining present. That detail suggests planning, not coincidence. And Destiny implies this behavior followed a pattern: similar trips, similar excuses, similar timing. The most chilling hint is Destiny's suggestion that one receipt directly connects to a scene viewers saw on television. A moment once understood one way, now possibly hiding something else entirely. If that evidence ever surfaces, it could rewrite how that entire season is remembered. At this stage, the conversation shifts from individual behavior to the environment that allowed it to stay hidden. Destiny implies others may have known pieces of the truth, but chose silence. Whether that silence came from loyalty, fear, or protecting the show, she suggests it came at a cost. Notably, Destiny has avoided attacking Leticia. Instead, her tone suggests empathy, implying Leticia may not have had the full picture. That possibility reframes many of Leticia's past reactions, making them feel less defensive and more like survival. Destiny suggests speaking earlier would have made her the villain. In reality TV, the messenger often gets blamed. That's why she frames these receipts not as gossip, but as protection, evidence she kept in case the narrative turned against her. She also hints that when these allegations resurfaced, pressure followed. Private conversations, tension, attempts to keep things quiet. She hasn't named names, but she made one thing clear: the silence wasn't accidental. Which brings us to the final question everyone is asking. If Destiny was being encouraged not to speak, what exactly is in those receipts that makes them so dangerous? At this stage, the situation stops feeling like simple reality TV drama and starts feeling like something far more serious. Because when someone keeps emphasizing receipts, pressure, and silence, it suggests the story has layers the audience hasn't fully seen yet. Destiny's wording matters here. She hasn't rushed to expose anything. She hasn't dropped screenshots publicly. Instead, she's letting people know they exist, and that choice alone changes the power dynamic. Fans are now questioning whether this is less about revenge and more about control. If Destiny truly has documentation that contradicts Maro's public narrative, then holding it back becomes a form of leverage, not to destroy, but to protect herself if the story turns against her. That kind of preparation doesn't happen overnight. It suggests foresight, not impulse. What's also striking is how careful Destiny has been with her language. She hasn't accused Maro directly of every detail fans are speculating about. She's allowed the audience to connect dots on their own. In many ways, that makes the claims even more unsettling, because instead of defending herself aggressively, she's presenting herself as someone who stayed quiet until silence was no longer an option. Meanwhile, Maro's camp has remained relatively controlled. There's been no explosive rebuttal, no aggressive denials, no legal threats, just general statements about rumors and negativity. And in situations like this, viewers know the difference between confidence and caution. One shuts things down, the other avoids specifics. The longer this plays out, the more uncomfortable it becomes for everyone involved. Fans are re-watching scenes with a completely different perspective. Moments that once felt ordinary now feel staged. Conversations that seemed harmless now feel loaded. And once that shift happens, it's nearly impossible to reverse. What truly complicates things is the emotional toll on Leticia. Destiny's approach hasn't been to embarrass her or place blame at her feet. If anything, Destiny's tone suggests restraint, almost protection. That choice alone has caused many viewers to pause, because if this were about clout, the easiest target would be Leticia. Instead, Destiny has avoided that lane entirely, and that raises an even bigger question. If Destiny is being this careful, what does she know that she's choosing not to say? At this point, fans believe we're only seeing the surface. The real story, if it ever fully comes out, may involve conversations, agreements, and understandings that happened long before viewers were aware of any tension. That possibility reframes everything: the alliances, the arguments, and even the moments of silence that once felt confusing. The reality is this: once receipts are mentioned, the clock starts ticking. People don't forget that word. They wait, they watch, and they analyze every move afterward. Destiny knows this, Maro knows this, and so does everyone else in that circle. Whether the receipts ever become public or not, the damage may already be done, because now the narrative has shifted from "is this true" to "why would she say this if it wasn't?" And that's a much harder question to answer. As this unfolds, one thing is clear: this isn't just about an alleged affair anymore. It's about credibility, silence, and who controlled the story for years. And if Destiny decides to stop hinting and start revealing, the fallout won't be limited to one person. It could change how this entire era of love and marriage Huntsville is remembered. What makes this situation even more volatile is the timing. Destiny didn't raise these implications during filming, and she didn't hint at them when emotions were running high. She waited. And when someone waits to speak, it usually means one of two things. Either they were protecting someone, or they were protecting themselves. Destiny is now making it clear that it was the latter. She has repeatedly suggested silence was not weakness, it was preparation. Fans are now questioning whether Destiny saw this storm coming long before anyone else did. Her body language in past seasons is being re-examined. The moments where she disengaged from conversations involving Maro, the times she chose to stay quiet when others were arguing loudly. What once looked like avoidance now looks like restraint, and restraint usually means someone knows more than they're saying. The pressure has shifted dramatically because now the spotlight isn't just on Maro, it's on whether he can explain the inconsistencies Destiny is pointing toward. And so far, there has been no detailed response, no breakdown of dates, no clarification of timelines, no direct confrontation of the claims being hinted at. That absence is what's driving the conversation forward. Viewers are also picking up on how quickly narratives started changing once Destiny started speaking in code. Language softened, statements became less definitive. What was once "never happened" turned into "misunderstood" and taken out of context. That shift alone has raised eyebrows, because when stories evolve under pressure, people start asking why. And then there's the question no one wants to say out loud, but everyone is thinking. If Destiny really has receipts, messages, timestamps, confirmations, why hasn't she released them yet? The answer fans keep circling back to is leverage. Once receipts go public, there's no walking anything back. Careers are affected, relationships are damaged permanently, and Destiny appears to understand the weight of that better than anyone.
She's not rushing. She's watching their response, watching who speaks, watching who stays quiet, watching who suddenly changes tone. That kind of patience usually belongs to someone who knows the truth doesn't need to scream to be believed. It just needs the right moment. Meanwhile, Leticia remains at the center of the emotional fallout. Fans are torn between anger and empathy. Many now believe she may have been defending a version of her marriage that wasn't fully transparent, and that realization has shifted sympathy in a way no argument ever could. The idea that she may have been standing firm without all the facts has made past confrontations feel tragic instead of confrontational. What's also becoming clear is that this situation isn't just about an alleged affair. It's about power, about who controls information, about who gets protected and who gets labeled disruptive for speaking up. Destiny's story is resonating because it taps into something bigger than reality TV. It taps into how often truth is delayed to protect images. And here's the part that keeps fans glued to their screens. Destiny has not denied that she may eventually release the receipts. She hasn't confirmed it either. She's left the door open just enough to keep everyone uneasy. That uncertainty is intentional, because once people know you can expose the truth, they start behaving differently. Every move now feels measured, every post, every interview, every appearance. The atmosphere around Maro feels tighter, more cautious, and viewers can feel it. The confidence that once defined him now feels guarded. And in the world of reality television, perception is everything. At this point, the real question isn't whether Destiny is telling the truth, it's what happens if she proves it. Because if even one receipt confirms what she's been implying, the entire narrative surrounding Maro's past seasons could collapse overnight. Scenes will be reinterpreted, defenses will be questioned, and silence will be redefined as complicity rather than coincidence. This is the moment where stories change direction, where the person who was once dismissed becomes the one holding all the cards. Destiny is no longer reacting to the narrative, she's controlling it. And whether she chooses to reveal everything or not, the damage is already happening in real time. Because once people start asking the right questions, there's no going back to the version of the story that felt comfortable.